Kia ora. I am here with Mel and Simon, owners of the Rocky Bay store, and we're going to have a chat about what it is that they've been up to. So let's start from the beginning. Why did you decide to buy the old store?
Well, we were looking at doing a community project. In fact, we were looking at rewilding a piece of land in Northland. And at the same time that we were thinking about that, we came to Waiheke and saw the store. And it ticked a couple of boxes. It's something that's great for the community, which was something that we wanted to do. Secondly, because I have family heritage on Waiheke, it felt like a really lovely thing to do to give back. And thirdly, we just love old stuff, don't we?
Yeah,
We love old stuff and we love a project.
and I think a challenge, and this was an impossible challenge, and so we've enjoyed that kind of thing.
Yeah, and we thought at the time it's it's hard for somebody to see the vision of something like this, but that's something that we're quite good at. And we did no due diligence because we thought if we did, we would be scared off. So we just jumped in, yeah,
Boots and all.
boots and all.
So when you first bought it, what were your hopes for the space?
A lot of people ask us, why are you building back the old store? Like they think we're a little bit crazy. But our intention has always been to build back the old store. Always. It's in such a prime spot in Rocky Bay, across the road from the hall, across the road from the beach, by the boat ramp, by the bus stop. It just screams that it needs a shop here, a store. And because our motivations were always around the community, we always wanted to put this store back. There's never been a question in our minds about that. As for the rest of the space, I think,
We're just happy. We know most of our projects evolve as they go along, and so we're happy just to see where we end up with the rest of the space.
What is it when it comes to the store specifically that you're really hoping it'll look like when it's all polished off?
we would love for people to be able to come down, grab a cup of coffee and some cabinet food, maybe grab an ice cream in summertime, have a cup of coffee with their mates, maybe grab a few basic supplies. However, it's not our intention to run the store. We would only see ourselves running it if we need to run it to get it off the ground. But it's our desire to build back this commercial space, and then we would like to lease that to someone who will run it.
What's the, I guess, overwhelming feedback been like from the community? How do you gauge people are feeling about this restoration or the time that it's taking?
Well, at the beginning, the feedback was all really positive. It's like, yay, especially because the site was so overgrown and we took 30 ton of green waste off of just vine, of like just shit, weedy stuff, wattle, yeah. But now I think the community is like concerned that we're giving up. They're frustrated because they want something
They're
done.
not seeing any progress.
They're not seeing any
See the
progress.
scenes.
Yeah, so I think the community is a bit not annoyed, but frustrated. Probably frustrated. Yeah.
Um, so a lot of people in the community wonder why it's been taking so long. Can you give us a little insight into what's been going on behind the scenes for you?
Hasn't it taken a very long time? Oh my God. We always thought it would take a long time, but this is ridiculous. I mean, it's just crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, and we're constantly every week doing something for the store.
So, but I think the reason that it's taken so long is that we were slash might in the future build a house up the back. And the advice to us was to work on the house first and then do the store. And the house took much, much longer than we ever thought it would. In the end, we're not proceeding with the house at this stage because it was just going to be too expensive. And we were worried that we would lose the money that we need out of our budget that we want to spend on the store. So we have been sort of holding off to do this house, which is now not happening at the moment. Aside from that, we've just had so many professional services people, consultants. It's been phenomenal.
There are far more consultants than I ever imagined there possibly could be.
We've had stormwater consultants multiple times, wastewater consultants, structural engineers to look at the integrity of the shop, structural engineers to look at foundations, heritage report. We have had so many geotech reports.
Geotechs, like
we've had surveyors. Then we've had to have a fire report done for the store. An emergency lighting consultant needs to do their thing.
We've had the culvert
redesign, which has just hit my email inbox today. And now we need a landscaping plan, which I haven't told you about that.
Arborist.
Oh, and the arborist. The arborist has come by. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we haven't even had to count the geckos yet.
No, and we haven't even got to the council part.
You know, every professional consultant seems to take about 3 months to turn their report around. And so by the time you get one, you get the report, and then you use the information from that report for another report, you only need 4 reports and a whole year has gone by.
So it sounds like a lot of the work that's happening can't be done concurrently. It all has to be done one after the other.
Yes.
Pretty much.
An example of that is the culvert report that I've just got in my email inbox today needed to come through before we can get the foundations designed with the structural engineer. And that needs to be done before we can go back to our stormwater engineer. And all of that needs to be done before we can lodge our building consent and resource consent. So even though we're sitting here now and we've just got another report, we're probably at least 3 months away from getting those other reports based on the timeline that we have come to expect from professional services firms.
So it sounds like everything is taking a lot of time and all of these various engineers and professionals can't be cheap. How much, I guess, money and effort and emotional capital have you been investing in this project?
Well, I'm too embarrassed to say how much money we have spent on this. But I say that someone said to me the other day, oh, you must have spent $40,000 already. And I'm like, oh my God, if it was only $40,000, I would be so happy. If I told people the amount of money that we've spent, they would fall off their chairs in shock.
What are some of the biggest challenges that have, I think, elongated the time that it's been taking you?
Actually, we lost an entire year of the process because of the costing problem with the house. So long story short, we had our initial plans costed, and it was within cooee of our budget. So then we went back, got all the working drawings done, which takes a long time, and then sent it back for a final costing, and it came out at 40% more than the initial cost, even though no floor plan, and no materials had changed. And so then we had to go and redesign the whole house, making it cheaper, which took about 9 months. And then when it came back, it was still going to cost about cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. And that was the initial estimate, not what it ends up to be at the end, where it's always way more expensive than you think it's going to be. So I'm not too embarrassed.
All of the reporting seems to have a standard $5,000 charge. And then due to the length of time that it's taking, we're having to update reports. But as far as emotional time, we spend time on this every single week. Every single week we're having meetings, emails. It's always there.
It's always there. Yeah. I light a candle most days to put good energy into the universe about this project.
While you're not going to be building a house on the land in the foreseeable future, you are still based on Waiheke?
Yes, so funny story. We have subsequently bought a house on Waiheke just to get us on the island, which is great because it means that we can come over here more often and get some stuff going over here. And frankly, I think we probably should have done that about 4 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
Has it been 4 years?
Yeah. Yeah. It's coming up 5 years this year.
Oh my goodness.
If we had known how long it was going to take, we would have done that.
Absolutely. It gives us the opportunity to refocus and reconnect with the land and keep up with the maintenance, which we never thought we'd have to be doing because we thought we'd be building quickly.
So currently you're not living on the site, but still on the island. Do you see yourself moving to the site once the store is fully established?
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to stay in this house that we're living in at the moment until the store is done. And then we're going to decide what we do. Are we going to build a house up the top, but it would have to be a cheaper house? Are we going to move to the Rocky Bay community? Are we going to stay where we are? We don't know. So we're just going to let the time run its course and see what happens.
Cool. What's your kind of primary message you want to send out and let people know of where this is going and how it's going to progress?
Well, I think the only thing that we can say is that it will progress. I mean, we're clearly not in a situation to say, oh, it's going to progress really quickly from here, because we would have thought that 4 years ago it would have gone a lot quicker than this. So who knows when when things are going to happen. But I mean, I would have thought, what are we in, July? I would have thought that by the end of this year, by the end of 2025, we should have our resource and building consent in for the store. If we don't, that would be unsurprising, but equally quite annoying.
So you're thinking in 2026 there'll likely be some physical construction site work that's...
No. I think 2026 will be taken up with consents, getting the consent through, because this current resource consent just for the house and infrastructure is we're on 8 months, and we've just had to lodge a discharge consent to discharge wastewater from one of our sections to another one of our sections. So I can't imagine that any building will be starting in 26. I think it will be all consents. I think it will be all getting pricing together. And I think the first we would start building would be 27. But then if you don't get in the beginning of that year, then you have to wait till the end of that year because you can't start in the rainy season.
Yeah, it sounds like it's been very challenging, and so obviously there must be a personal draw. What is it that's kept you persevering and wanting to complete this project?
Well, firstly, because we're not quitters. So we just, as long as you're taking a little step, you'll eventually get there. And we would never quit on this project.
No, we're invested in it. And I don't know, every time we come back to the site, we get reinvigorated.
I reckon the old store and I have conversations, like I feel very, very connected to this land. I love this land, absolutely love it. But my mother did say to me the other day when we were over here, we hadn't been over for a while and the weeds were coming back and all this stuff. And she said, oh, I thought you must have gotten so sick and tired of it and given up. And I was like, oh my God, we are so sick and tired and we're so weary from the process and we are so beaten up, but there's no way we're giving up. That's just like, this is the part in the story, when you get to the end and the store's being opened, this is the part of the story where it goes, oh, and everything was really hard and could they do it? And then what do you know? They pull a rabbit out of the hat and off they go and it finishes perfectly.
No, it'll be an expensive rabbit.
It'll be a very expensive rabbit.